I'm Josh Light with PoliticIt.com here in Nashville, Tennessee with Brad Staats. He's a Republican running for Congress in District 5. How you doing today, Brad?
I'm doing well. Hot, but good. Thank you.
It is a little bit hot here.
Yes, it is.
So this race is a little bit hot, too. Tell us the big differences between you and your competitors.
Well, there's only one left, Jim Cooper. And Jim Cooper's been in office 23 of 29 years. And I think somehow Washington changes people because when they're there that long, I think the reasons they started for running for office are no longer there. And it's time for Jim Cooper to go. He's a career politician. I'm a business owner. He signs the back of checks. I sign the front of checks. There's some big differences between me and Jim Cooper, definitely.
And how has your experience prepared you for Congress?
Oh, goodness gracious. The presidential debate helped me some. I love the line that Romney looked at Obama and he said, "I've been in business 25 years. I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about." And so I've been in business 15 years. We have a balanced budget for our company. You know, everybody says EBITDA positive. We're making money. We are employing people. We're taking care of customer needs. I still work. You know, I occasionally put a hard hat on and get on the top of a ladder. I really know what it's like to be everyday American. And so many politicians, I think they just lose their way. They forget why they started or why they got in office or what motivated them. I've got 4 kids, I've got 2 businesses, I've got a wife that needs my attention, I've got a family that needs my attention. There's a lot of reasons that separate me from current politicians.
Brad, what's wrong with our economy? How do we fix it?
Where do we start? That's a great question. Well, you know, I get asked a lot of other questions. You know, how do you feel about Second Amendment rights, which I have a very strong stance on? How do you feel about abortion? I have a strong stance on. How do you feel about First Amendment rights? I get a lot of those questions. Those things are all very, very important, don't get me wrong. But a lot of people who want to say, you should run your campaign on this, or Mr. Staats, I'm not going to support you if you don't make abortion your primary focus, I look at them and I say, in all honesty, if we don't fix jobs and we don't fix the economy, all the things that you want to argue about are not going to matter anymore. We're not going to have a platform to argue on. Those 2 things are so important. And it's very simple. You know, people want to complicate it. It was some of the answers I saw the other night on the debate were full of minutia from my perspective. Small businesses drive this economy. People who get tax breaks, who provide jobs, who want to do research and development, who want to do new research and energy. There's a lot of things that would drive the economy, but they're stifled right now. I'm going to give you one prime example. I have had a manufacturer ask me to go to three other cities. They want us to go to Huntsville, Birmingham, and Montgomery, Alabama, kind of go down the 65 corridor. They want us to sell a product that's the #1 selling product in the U.S. right now in my industry. But I would have to hire about 50 people to do that. If I hire those 50 people, not knowing what my tax implication or my health care implication is going to be, I could literally, within the next several months, be out of business. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see what happens in November, because people who own businesses, and I'm a small business. When I say I work every day, I mean, I literally, about 6 months ago, I fell off a ladder. I have scars from it. But I got to tell you, that's what's stifling business. People are fearful. They don't trust politicians. They don't trust what's going to happen. They don't know what's going to happen. That's a long answer, but it's an honest answer.
Do you feel like voters trust their politicians still, or do you think we have a trust crisis here in this country?
So, any relationship, whether it's with your wife, whether it's with your pastor, in a business relationship, you have no trust. You have a shaky foundation with which to start. I don't think people trust politicians. I mean, how can they? Our current congressman in Tennessee that's in my district, who's been in office 23 years, he's been on both sides of the issue of health care. He's been on both sides of the issue of the stimulus. He's been on both sides of the issue of all the things that we hold dear. Abortion. I mean, he says, you know, he's partially pro-life, but then he votes for Obamacare, which will support abortions in other countries. I mean, we're very, we should be leery because they've all been on both sides of the fence. Your answer, sir, is your answer. Let your yay be yay and your nay be nay.
Recently, you made some comments to President Obama regarding the Second Amendment rights. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure, briefly, because I've spent the last 4 days talking about this. Our founding fathers gave us a phenomenal constitution. We've become the wealthiest country in a very short period of time. We've become the most successful, and a lot of that is based right on our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. And President Obama forwarded or fronted by Hillary Clinton has been in discussions with the UN regarding our Second Amendment rights. If that blanket treaty were ever to go into place, it could immediately impact yours and my ability to own and bear arms. Now, whether you want to say it's for hunting or not, I could care less. But we have the right by the Second Amendment to bear arms. President Obama and Hillary Clinton seem to think that we should follow the UN. I have a very, very strong opinion on that. I carry a gun most places I go, especially today after I made that last comment. I've gotten several death threats on Facebook. So I want President Obama to know, leave our Constitution alone, don't enter into any treaty with the UN, and turn things like that over to voters. We have an opinion. We have an opinion, a good opinion.
What are you doing to improve your online presence?
Good question. We have a good website. I would say the fact that we've now linked it to Twitter and Facebook helps. And I thought with having, I guess, 400 or 500 likes, it was good. Once we made some comments about the Second Amendment rights, it's gone up. We have now 1,600 friends, and I forgot how many likes. Social media, though, is this ever quickly evolving animal that's hard to keep up with. Now we're getting ready to do an SMS text message. Text. I think our number is 63209, something like. I think that. Don't text it. I think it's it. 63209. But you can text to get updates, press releases, and those types of things pushed right to your phone, which is pretty cool. I think. I don't know how we did it, but it's pretty cool.
Brad, how's your campaign going?
It's going very, very well. We ran a poll early on which said Cooper can be beat. We've had all of the Republican groups come behind us, and whether you say Tea Partiers or not Republicans, they are Republicans, Tea Partiers. We've had 9/12ers, we've got Oath Keepers. We truly do have a grassroots campaign, but it's going very, very well. Jim Cooper's got $1 million, which is hard to compete with, but we've got some hard workers, so we stand a good chance of winning.
Brad, where can people go to learn more about you?
I love that question. So it's bradstaats.com, and my last name's hard to forget. It's the same way forwards as backwards, S-T-A-A-T-S, S-T-A-A-T-S, bradstaats.com. You'll get where we stand on most issues. You'll see if you want the links from Twitter, the links from Facebook. Check us out. I want people to know.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me out here.